What is up, bros, and welcome to the All Bros podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And I already forgot the damn Sam, you were just right on this. I love it.
I know, his notification. Dude, your notifications freaking rock.
Dude, seriously. Damn, they're not even that fast on my phone.
Yeah, I know. Dude, like, my notifications suck ass.
It's because you have an Android, no offense. Just kidding.
Oh, you can go to hell.
I'm sorry, man. Anyway, we already said our names, right?
I think so.
Okay. I sure hope so. Well, we're a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we got something to talk about with 4K Spotlight, a movie that me and Caleb definitely both enjoyed. It's coming to 4K. And then we got nothing for Through the Wall, so we'll be jumping into our headliner, which we did have to change because we read the dates wrong for Dumb Money. So oops, doesn't actually come out till the end of
them recently, because like
I think they did, because freaking so I watched Grace Randolph's Movie Math, and she was pointing like how Dumb Money just had like a really bad premiere and everything. I'm just like, okay, maybe she also got the dates wrong, because yeah, this is like the limited release numbers. This isn't like the theatrically wide release numbers yet. So
I have no life. I just have my phones in my hand at all times.
Sounds like me. I feel you there, Sam.
Dude, same here. I'm like so rarely on my social media anymore. I'm always on ours doing random shit.
That's like awesome.
My social media's gotten like weird. Like, and I can always tell when I'm on, like, there used to be a point when I was switching back and forth. And so like the All Bros social media and my social media was like pretty similar.
Yeah.
Now I can instantly tell when mine or when I'm on mine. Because I'm just like, oh, that's weird. And then
if it weren't
be like, oh,
for,
that's mine.
If it weren't for like Messenger being the way that we text each other, honestly, I would just delete my Facebook and just use the All Bros one, because I don't know. I don't even use Facebook really. It's pointless to me now. So
yeah, but it is what it is, dude. It's so funny because it's like the way that I message you is on Facebook. I message my brother on Snapchat. I message Brielle on Instagram. There are so few people in my life that I actually just text.
Dude, literally the only people that I text are for work, or people that I work with. That is literally the only people that I text. So
yep, same.
But yet, like, text is like the only. I don't know. It seems that you think that, you know, you're paying for unlimited, you know, talk and text, that you'd actually take advantage of it. But no, I don't do that. I rarely even call people too. That's usually all. Dude, that's usually like, also just for work.
It's like the freaking bullshit. Like technically, I have to use data to message everyone in my personal life when I could, and then like everyone that I text for work is like technically free because I have like unlimited talk and text, but I have limited data. So I'm like, how the hell does that make sense?
That's phone companies for you, man.
Mm-hmm. But shit.
Anyway, yeah, I went through the agenda. So Caleb, what do you say we get started?
I say, let's do it.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
All right, well, jumping into 4K Spotlight, we have Elemental coming out to 4K and Blu-ray. And it seems like this Disney is starting to do a very interesting tactic with their physical releases, or at least starting from The Little Mermaid, and I'm assuming onward, which is also a Pixar movie. That was stupid. But yeah, so like I said, Elemental coming to Blu-ray and 4K. But if you want it, so I'm just gonna really quickly skip over here. If you want to get just the regular 4K here, you have to be subscribed to Disney Movie Club. That is the only way to get it. So that was the same case with The Little Mermaid. So it seems like this is the way that Disney is going, which I'm just assuming it's to get people to subscribe more to Disney Movie Club, which, you know, I'm all for that. Like, I love being a part of the Disney Movie Club. The only thing that sucks about it is so you get a notification every single month about your feature title, and you only have a certain amount of time to respond to that. And if you don't either accept it or decline it, you automatically receive the item and you're charged.
That
So
sucks.
it does. And it's happened to me in the past. It was just this past holiday season. I forgot to respond to one for this like 4 Christmas classics Blu-ray set. Yeah, all of a sudden I got a package in the mail from Disney Movie Club. What the hell? I didn't order anything, and bam, there it was.
Dude, that is so shady. It should be the other way around.
Fair.
Like that's seriously pulling like hey, don't respond if you want us to send stuff to you and charge you money.
That's I mean, that's how the Disney
Like,
Movie
that is
Club
such
is keeping
bullshit.
afloat, man.
I know, freaking robbing people.
Uh,
Like, oh, you don't get notifications? That sucks.
tough tits. But hey, man, you get a cool ass lithograph with most purchases, so at least there's that.
That is so freaking shady, dude.
I mean, but it's Disney. Are you surprised?
Wish I could say I was.
But yeah, so this is just the regular 4K. Modern day Columbia House Records.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, we are too young. Sorry, Sam. I have no idea what studio that is. Yeah, so like I said, this is the basic 4K. Only way you can get it is through Disney Movie Club. I like the simplicity, honestly. And I actually like this better than the Blu-ray cover. I don't know. When it comes to Wade and Ember, I kind of like them just, I don't know. I like the simplicity of that. It's Wade upside down, her looking at him, and then it's just a black background.
I don't necessarily care for the background. I think that they kind of stand out a little bit more on like the bright background, like the other
All right.
one.
Touche.
Like the first one that we showed. I like.
So let's go back to that one. Here is
Yeah, like I like
Blu-rays.
I mean, Wade doesn't, but I mean, Ember pops really well, and
Fair.
I don't know. Like I like I mean, this usually isn't my style, but I usually like prefer the darker, simplistic backgrounds. But I like something about this one.
I think you're gonna really like the Steelbook then.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is the regular Blu-ray cover, regular
Yeah.
4K. Next up, we have the Walmart exclusive. And
Oh, I like that one.
Right, this one's good. And it seems like they're going away from the collectible pins. And they're bringing in lenticular covers. They're bringing back lenticular slip covers, and I am all for that because lenticular is so freaking cool, and I wish more studios did them still.
All right, so let's see, 11 CDs for a pen. Oh, I've heard of that system before. You have to buy like 6 more. They send you a notice on what's coming your way unless you mail them back and no.
Dude, yeah, this is straight up Disney Movie Club because when you first signed up, you got how many was it? It was like 4 Blu-rays for $1, and yeah, then you had to reach. So it was 4 movies, so 4 either Blu-rays or DVDs for $1, and then you had to buy a certain amount of movies before a certain date to reach your commitment status. Otherwise, if you didn't, you would be charged full price for all of the movies that you got for $1.
Dude, that is bullshit.
That is the Disney Movie Club.
Dude, it sounds like highway freaking robbery.
I'm not that proud to say how fast I reached my commitment status, but
that doesn't surprise me for someone like you that collects all this stuff. But I mean, that still seems like a super shady deal. Like that seems like something where a kid would see, 4 Blu-ray, or I get 4 movies for $1, and they like steal their mom's credit card because mom's not going to miss $1, and then ends up getting charged like whatever full price is for the damn.
Basically, probably like $80 after tax and shipping, close to $100.
Oh my hell!
Yeah.
So and then how many? So you had to buy 4, or you had to buy like how many did you have to buy?
So you had to select 4, and it was kind of I don't know how like selective they were on the ones that you chose, because when I did mine, I got a Goofy movie and Holes, which were exclusively on Blu-ray to Disney Movie Club. I got the Disney Movie Club exclusive slipcover edition for Ron's Gone Wrong, and then the Blu-ray exclusive for Encanto.
Okay. And then, so how many did you have to purchase to reach your commitment?
I think it was 6.
Dude, that is some horse shit.
Like, let me double check here, because I don't want to give you misinformation.
Columbia House would send you stuff that was probably pirated. Quite often the CD sleeves were blank inside.
Holy shit.
Dude, with a shady situation like this, I'm surprised freaking Disney didn't do that. I mean, it would end up being like pirated versions of their own shit, but still. Dude, this seems like a freaking like mafia shit. It's like, listen, we're gonna give you these movies, and like you only got to select like a certain 4, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like, we'll let you pick, not out of our full selection, out of this very limited selection. We'll give it to you for $1, but you have to purchase 6 more DVDs.
Okay, so it was
to reach your commitment.
So it was 5. So I guess since I committed, or I was able to get to commitment status so fast, or maybe just because I actually did do it, I'm a super VIP now. So with that, so I got the exclusive Lightyear version. I got the exclusive Thor Love and Thunder. I got Nightmare Before Christmas, their exclusive, that Christmas 4-pack that I was telling you about, which freaking 2 of the movies I've never even actually seen. It was Jingle All the Way, Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, and A Christmas Carol.
Dude,
and then, sorry, the 5th one was the original Aladdin, their exclusive. So
okay, I gotta tell you, when you were saying what you did, and like how you reached the elite VIP status, right?
Okay.
All I could imagine was like some shady New York like mafia leader that's just like, hey, would you look at this guy? Let's give him that elite status.
Oh my god. Oh, that's fantastic, dude.
Dude, that's exactly like, because I already think that this is like a shady mafia deal. Because it's like, I mean, obviously they're not going to come like break your legs or anything, but it feels like that's kind of what they're threatening.
No, dude, seriously,
hey,
like
purchase these 5, or we're going we're going to come and we'll find you.
like the more that like I'm a part of it, the more I'm just like, okay, yeah, like your tactics are kind of shady and like they're kind of like bullshit because so I forgot to respond to Guardians 3. And so they charged me for the regular 4K and shipped it to me, but I didn't want the regular 4K. So I shipped it back to them. I shipped it back, I think like 2 weeks ago, and they said it takes 6 to 7 weeks to receive your refund.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Of course it
I'm like,
freaking
are you
does. That's how the
freaking
mafia
kidding?
works, Rose.
This is bullshit.
We'll get you your money when you get it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's a
Oh.
disrespect fee.
Did I because I disrespected the mouse? That okay.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Half of the kids in my school were probably part of that crime family.
Holy shit.
I love it.
Rose, you were Columbia House. Go to hell. Dude, freaking.
I know I'm a slave to the mouse. I'll admit it.
Holy shit. The mouse is a freaking mob boss, dude. Yeah, and instead of breaking your legs, he just steals your money.
Oh.
Like he like whispers to you like, hey, you want this exclusive thing? And when you're like, what? And he's already reaching in your pocket. Like, nah, man, it's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry, Disney needs this money. I mean, for the quarter that they've reported, I'm sure they do.
Man, is that due to strikes or is that due to shitty business?
It's due to shitty business, box office failures. Yeah,
dude, I'm still on team. Like, movie theaters aren't doing as well as they used to anymore.
No, they're not, because for the streaming when with COVID truly killed the movie theaters, because nowadays with how fast these movies roll out to digital, people are just like, okay, I'm only going to see movies in theaters that I feel are worthy of paying that extra price, that need to be seen on the big screen. Because even if most rentals nowadays, if like it's only a couple weeks after it comes out in theaters, it's $30 to rent it, or no, it's $25 to rent it, $30 to buy it. But I mean, if you're watching it with a couple of people, that $25, if you're like charging like even on like a $5 Tuesday or shit like that, like that's gonna add up fast, and you're gonna make that money back super easily. And especially for like smaller films, and like I'm gonna unfortunately say like Elemental or like TMNT Mutant Mayhem, some people probably don't think that those are worth seeing on the big screen. I feel Mutant Mayhem is, maybe not Elemental. I loved Elemental, but I don't know if it's like worthy of seeing on the big screen. People are just going to be like, okay, either I'm going to just rent it on digital when it first comes out, or I'm just going to wait till Disney Plus.
Dude, I think the movie theater industry is going to have to totally revamp what it is.
I agree.
Like I'm in total agreement with you. There are definitely some movies that need to be seen on the big screen. And it's like these big blockbuster films. Anything Marvel, freaking anything Christopher Nolan, anything like all these big names. Those movies kind of need to be seen on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that movie theaters, not the big ones like Cinemark, AMC, whatever, I don't think those ones are going to be affected too much, as long as they keep bringing in the big blockbuster movies, but the little theaters are going to be the ones that get hit. And I think the smaller movie theaters, they're trying to keep up. They're like, oh, like these people want to see the new shit, and so I think they put themselves in a bind trying to get their hands on like the new movies for people to see. I think they just need to go balls to the wall and be like, we're just going to re-release old movies.
No, and honestly, I think that's a really good idea because there's a lot of movies that I would love to see on the big screen that I never got a chance to. Like a couple months ago, Cinemark. So actually, two occurrences here. One, Cinemark, I think they do this like every year, but they actually were showcasing the original Halloween on the big screen for one night only. I was able to catch the screening at Orem Cinemark. Absolutely freaking loved it. It was so cool seeing that movie on the big screen. It felt like a brand new movie. I loved it. And then a couple weeks ago, I think after I saw Oppenheimer, Fathom Events was showcasing a Coraline to celebrate its anniversary. So I was able to finally see that one on the big screen. Absolutely worth it. Felt like a new movie. So yeah, if they're willing to dish out these old movies and put them back on the big screen, people I feel are willing to pay, maybe not like full price, like the $12 to $15, but like maybe just like a little cheaper. Like say like you're going to like an evening showing, I pay like $8 to $10 to see like the original Halloween on the big screen, or the original
dude.
Ghostbusters. That is a dream of mine, to see the original Ghostbusters on the big screen.
The local sticky shoes going to old releases, dude. They should. Like
It seemed, yeah, no, Sam's got a point. It seemed from what I saw. So after Sticky Shoe went out of business, someone bought it out and called it the Old Town Hub. And like they would do like magic shows, they would do live events there. And unfortunately, just they recently announced that they can't keep it open. Just business isn't doing as well, and so it's being sold to a company that is actually going to start showcasing movies again there.
oh man, dude, okay, so I had this weird experience when I went to go see Gran Turismo. So I went into the movie theater at like 12:30 and it was like dead.
Okay.
Like dead. So like I got there and I didn't think they were open. Like that's how freaking dead it was.
Damn, bro.
But I walked in and all the employees were sitting around goofing off on their phones, and then they saw me and then they all like got their positions and everything. But I was walking through the theater after Gran Turismo got out, and like I went to the restroom kind of down the hall and was just kind of like walking around, and I'm like, dude, I kind of want to own a freaking movie theater.
It would be really cool.
I know, like it's just like it's like it has every like single like little aspect that I think would intrigue me and keep me interested. Like it's a lot of like construction, fixing stuff up, throwing stuff, like trying to be creative with it, and like trying to find those little like ins and outs of like, hey, like what's going to draw people in. I have to get creative because it's like I can't spend too much money to put on like this big deal or whatever. Like I would love to be able to just kind of be like, screw it, I want to go see this movie. And like basically like I could have a theater to myself if I so chose.
Yeah, it's true.
And just like others, like just random stuff like that. Like it's just like, hey, if I have like a little arcade, like I can go and fix all that stuff. Like all these like little different like parts of things that I'm interested in, like I'll kind of come together with movie theaters.
Yeah.
And I would love to do something like that, like run old releases, and I'd have freaking fun with it. Like for like the month of, I don't know, like the month of March, I'm only showing like movies that were released in March.
Oh, I like that idea.
And then doing the same thing with like October, only releasing horror movies. Yes. Christmas, nothing but Christmas movie. Like that's what I would do, just like thematic days, because like I know AMC kind of does it every once in a while. One of our other theaters, they have old releases they have a different release every week, but you can only catch it on a Tuesday or a Thursday at a certain time. And I'm like, well, shit. Like,
That's how it was with Halloween.
yeah. So it's like, oh, Tuesday or Thursday, but we only have 2 showings. And I'm like, that kind of blows.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice if I had like a little bit more time because there are some movies I'm like, yeah, I'd be super down for that, but I can't do Tuesday at 9:00.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice if you had like a showing at like 1 or like a little earlier in the day or whatever. And I think there's money there. Like, I don't know how hard I'm going to pursue my like wanting to own a theater. I might just build one in my backyard and call it a day.
Yes. Hey, that's good enough. I love it.
Yeah. Could you imagine just like freaking pimped out, like giant ass, like IMAX theater?
That would be
Dude,
pretty
if I had the
sick.
money, it would seriously be like a full blown movie, like IMAX theater situation with like a handful of seats. Like, I think that'd be the coolest shit. But yeah. Anyway, talking about my hopes and dreams.
Allow me to squash them.
Yeah, I know how much money that shit would end up costing me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But you know what? If this ever does become a reality, count me in on this investment.
Dude, that'd be the shit. Like, I'd invest in like the best stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I say, count me in.
Full blown like recliner seats.
Dude, let's both go half. Let's make this happen one day. Maybe not until we're into our like late 30s, early 40s. But
we just need at least me. I just need to get to a point where I'm not living paycheck to paycheck.
Hey, same. No, dude, same. I mean, I have a decent amount in savings, but I don't want to touch that. So I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But honestly, most of America is.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but unfortunately,
that's why I'm like learning. Maybe I'll learn to like build that IMAX quality like speakers and figure out what to do.
For now, the VR big screen works.
It does. It very much does. Like I need to get the like an updated headset, but yeah, just like I want to keep up to date, like just so I can see like how good the video quality will get.
Yeah.
Because like there's some headsets out there that are like ridiculous in like their quality. Like there's one that's so good that it's like this dude, he would like they have these these haptic feedback gloves for touching stuff, and so it'll like feel like you're touching things. And this dude, it was like a model of like a human, right? And he like went to like touch the person, and so he's like, the haptic feedback really helped sell this, but the quality of person, like it was so like there was zero lag in it, so it felt like someone was standing right there that I could like sit and touch. And then they did this thing because they use it for like anatomy classes, and so they like stripped it of its skin, like this model. And he's like, I had like a guttural reaction to it because it was just so jarring watching someone that looked real just lose all their skin. He's like, I could feel my heart rate rise, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like
that's insane.
And he's like, I've gone back to my other, like my normal headset, because that was like one that was like in testing and development. And he's like, it's hard to go back to like, he's like, don't get me wrong, mine's still like super high end quality, but it's not that level. And that's kind of ruined my headset for me.
All right, fair enough.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
he says that's usually the case, but I was nervous about where you were taking the glove subject. No, like they have these like special gloves, and it's usually with like motors and stuff that are attached on like the wrist, but they'll pull your fingers back. like because like each of the fingers is connected to a string, so it like pulls it back and makes you feel like you're touching stuff. So like they'll have it with swords, apples, but it's crazy because they'll like make you feel like you're holding a solid object, and just by pulling on your fingers in a certain way, like with those strings.
That's insane.
Explicit label coming.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's wild. It is really wild what they're able to do.
that is really cool.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just going to get better from here. So
That's true. That's very true. So getting back to Elemental, we got one more release, and that is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook.
ooh,
So
you're right. I like that one a lot.
Right. So I love that it's them touching, and then the back is a flame surrounding their hands about to touch.
Oh,
I know, right? It's so cute.
I dig it.
Right? Yeah, I love the Steelbook. It's so good.
Yeah, I like this one a lot better than that first one.
Than the regular Blu-ray cover.
Yeah, the first one it's cool, but I think what that one was missing versus this one is one where it looks like they're more interacting with each other, where the other one it just seemed like character poster poses.
Like I love that this is truly showcasing that this is a love story.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Right? It's so good. So like for me, the Steelbook wins, and also just because I'm basic, I really like the Disney Movie Club 4K cover.
Fair. Totally fair.
But so that's it for 4K. Like I said, we got nothing for Through the Wall. So Caleb, what do you say we get into our main event of the evening, or our headliner? That's what it's called. When was the last time we called anything main event of the evening? What's that been, like 3 years?
It has been a hot minute, Rose.
Probably pre-COVID, I'm sure.
I think it was way pre-COVID.
Oh, geez, Louise. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I never actually said the name of the movie that we were breaking down. I swear I
Didn't
didn't.
you?
No, I don't think I said Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So my bad. Well, surprise. We're breaking down one of our favorite MCU movies.
Ding.
So yeah, so since we couldn't do Dumb Money, and a couple things, some stuff came up, and so we weren't able to go check out another movie that we were talking about. We moved that to next week. So Last Minute Resort, we're gonna break down Guardians Volume 2.
Yep.
So yeah. So since we weren't able to do Dumb Money, we don't have a question of the week. So we'll move that to the actual episode of Dumb Money. Caleb, wait, okay. Which comes, dude? I am like drawing a blank this episode. What comes first? Is it you saying how we break down movies on this podcast, or is it reading with Rose?
Well, it's usually shit.
You forgot too. Okay.
No, well, because you questioned me on it. Like I know, like the typical order of events. So usually it's question of the week. We can't do that. So yeah, it's explaining how our breakdown system works.
That's okay. Yeah, because then you'll say, so if you haven't seen this movie, Rose is about to spoil the entire. Okay. Yep. Now it's coming back to me. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Ready and go.
All right. If you're new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm and give us a final All Bros letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade. As well as a percentage that doesn't really matter all that much, but the rankings are pretty fun to throw people off on social media. So we continue to do them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you have had ample time to see it. So if it is spoiled for you past this point, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah.
You have been warned.
They all die. Volume 3 was an illusion. It never happened.
Yeah, so we will be putting up the spoiler warning. So yeah, if you choose to listen beyond this point, you only got yourself to blame.
Yep.
So without further ado, it is our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose.
All right. In 2014, Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Baby Groot are renowned as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Aisha, leader of the Sovereign Race, has the Guardians protect valuable batteries from an obelisk, an interdimensional monster, in exchange for Gamora's estranged sister Nebula, who was caught attempting to steal the batteries. After Rocket steals the batteries for himself, the Sovereign attacks the Guardians' ship with a fleet of drones. A mysterious figure destroys the drones, and the Guardians crash land on a nearby plane, Berhurt. The figure reveals himself as Quill's father, Ego, and he is joined by Mantis, his naive, empath. Is it empath?
Empath, yeah.
Empath. Okay. Servant. Ego invites Quill, Gamora, and Drax to his home planet, while Rocket and Groot remain behind to repair the ship and watch Nebula. Aisha hires Yondu Udanta and his crew, who has been exiled from the Greater Ravagers community for child trafficking, to recapture the Guardians. They capture Rocket, but when Yondu hesitates to turn over Quill, whom he raised, his Lieutenant Kraglin Do they ever actually say Kraglin's last name in the movies?
Not even once.
That's what I thought. So Kraglin Obfenteri, I hope that's how you say it, questions his objectivity, and another lieutenant, Taserface, leads a mutiny aided by Nebula, who shoots Yondu. Aided by Nebula, who shot Yondu. Sorry, dude, for how many times I have seen this movie, how am I screwing up the plot this bad?
I mean, you're definitely not letting us down with this Reading with Rose segment.
Well, thank you. That totally makes me feel better. Taserface imprisons Rocket and Yondu aboard Yondu's ship and executes his loyalists. I don't know about you, but that scene even back then was hard to watch. Like just seeing them like shoved out into space just to freeze to death. That shit was so effed up.
Yeah, real freaking jacked.
Nebula leaves to find and kill Gamora, whom she blames for the torture inflicted on her by their adoptive father, Thanos. That's a period, Jonathan, you dumbass. Groot and Kraglin, who is remorseful and never intended for a mutiny, free Rocket and Yondu. Using Yondu's arrow, the group destroys the ship and its crew while escaping. Taserface warns the Sovereign before dying. Ego, a godlike celestial that manipulated the matter around his consciousness to form his home planet, explains that he projected a humanoid guise to travel the universe and discover a purpose, eventually falling in love with Quill's mother, Meredith. Ego hired Yondu to collect the young Quill after Meredith's death, but the boy was never delivered, and Ego has been searching for him ever since. He teaches Quill to manipulate his inherited celestial power, while Mantis grows close to Drax and tries to warn him of Ego's plans. I don't know about you, but like after Guardians 3, you just appreciate how great of a relationship Mantis and Drax have. Like,
yeah,
dude, freaking them saying goodbye to each other, like that was the hardest shit ever. That was so hard.
Ugh, freaking rough,
right? So she warns of Ego's plans. Nebula arrives at Ego's planet and tries to kill Gamora, but the pair reconcile and reach an uneasy alliance, soon discovering a cavern filled with skeletal remains. Ego brainwashes Quill and reveals that in his travels he planted seedlings on thousands of worlds that can terraform into new extensions of himself, but only the power of two Celestials can activate them. To that end, he impregnated countless women and hired Yondu to collect their offspring, but killed them all when they failed to inherit his celestial power. Quill fights off Ego's influence when Ego reveals that he gave Meredith the brain tumor that killed her. After Quill violently attacks Ego, oh my dude, Ego God damn it.
I didn't pull this shit up, so you're on your own, bud.
Damn it. Ego parasitically, that's the word. I thought there was another T.
Oh shit.
Ego parasitically draws Quill's energy to activate the seedlings, which begin to consume the worlds they're on. Rocket, Yondu, Groot, and Kraglin arrive, and together with Mantis, Drax, Nebula, and Gamora, they rescue Quill. The reunited Guardians travel to Ego's brain at the planet's core, where Yondu reveals that he kept Quill to spare him from Ego. As the Sovereign's drones return and attack, Rocket makes a bomb using the stolen batteries, which Groot plants on Ego's brain. Quill uses his newfound celestial powers to fight Ego, distracting him long enough for the other Guardians and Mantis to escape. The bomb explodes, killing Ego and disintegrating the planet, which drains Quill of his celestial powers. Yondu sacrifices himself to save Quill and dies in the vacuum of space. Despite having reconciled with Gamora, Nebula chooses to leave and resume her quest to kill Thanos. The Guardians, with Mantis as a new member, hold a funeral for Yondu. Rocket and Kraglin are elated as dozens of Ravager ships arrive, acknowledging Yondu's sacrifice and accepting him as a Ravager again. In a series of mid- and post-credit scenes, Kraglin takes up Yondu's telekinetic arrow and control fin. Ravager leader Stakar Ogard reunites with his ex-teammates, and God damn it. Ravager leader Stakar Ogard reunites with his ex-teammates. Aisha creates Adam, a new artificial being with whom she plans to destroy the Guardians, and Groot grows into a teenager. Oh my god, I struggled so bad.
Yeah, that one was rough.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I got no
That's
words.
funny,
Yeah,
though.
that sucked.
You did all right.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, starting off with story. Dude, this one, out of all like the Guardians movies, I probably enjoyed the third. Like it's weird. I think I hold the third one in higher regard than the second, only because I feel in terms of like quality of film, I think that it's higher. This one, I had a lot more fun than I did the first.
I can definitely agree with you there. I feel like I don't want to compare the third one to this one, but like say like I am going for a minute because I definitely agree with you. You definitely hold the third one to a higher rank. When you're reading names from other worlds, are you spoiling the English language? Yes. Yes, let's go with that.
I'm pretty sure parasitically is still an English word, Rose.
No, it's not. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, that word originated on nowhere. So.
Sure did.
Yep, yeah, it did. It really did. Ask Kevin Feige himself.
Okay.
Or no, ask James Gunn. He'd probably be the guy to ask. But yeah, like I said, definitely agree with you. Hold Guardians 3 to a higher rank. But yeah, this is the most fun out of the two. I will say Guardians 3 I feel has a better villain. Like don't get me wrong, I like Ego as a villain. But just I feel that the Grandmaster? No. Fuck, what was the guy's name in Guardians 3?
Well, obviously he wasn't that freaking memorable.
No, he was.
No,
Trust
he was
me.
the High Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary. God damn it.
You weren't even in the ballpark,
No,
dude.
I wasn't. What the hell is wrong with me? But yeah, I thought that one had a better film, but just I agree with you. This one is just the funnest out of the three, and that is a huge positive about this movie. That's not me saying, oh, like the story's not that great, the villain's not that great, but at least it's fun. No, the fun is what makes it a good Guardians movie. And I would say the story is actually really, really good. The fact that the Guardians are already established as a group, and so we're able to dive even more into these characters just makes it that much more of an enjoyable time. I freaking love being able to see especially Gamora and Nebula's relationship even more, and just how neglected Nebula was as the sister. She was definitely the runt of the litter when it came to the two. Freaking the back, like everything that we got for Yondu in this movie is freaking amazing. All the stories for him, or all the story for him. The introduction of Mantis, she was such a great addition to the story. And as the movies went on, she arguably became my favorite Guardian, especially in the third one. God, I freaking love Mantis. Just yeah, it's a great second edition. And like arguably, I feel like the Guardians movies is like the best trilogy in the MCU.
Dude, very easily so.
Right? Like
it has no competition.
it doesn't, because like the Iron Man trilogy, I have problems with 2 and 3. Captain America, just like I don't like the first one's good. But just I have problems with
Winter
it.
Soldier is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier is perfection.
Civil War though, that one's basically just Avengers
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. The Avengers, those movies are okay, but Age of Ultron's just meh.
I feel Age of Ultron gets too much hate, but that's just me. I'll save that for future. My thoughts on that. What's another? There's 4 movies, but Thor, like the first one's good, second one sucks, and the third one's good, the fourth one sucks.
Yeah.
But just yeah, the Guardians trilogy is the only trilogy in the MCU that all 3 of them are genuinely good. Some are better than others, but at the end of the day, they're all genuinely good. They James Gunn truly understands these characters, and the fact that he was able to, I think that's why it is, because it's the exact same director for all 3. He was able to handle these characters from the beginning, and he was able to give them the ending that they he was able to give them the ending that he wanted. And even though this is the middle chapter, these characters still are taken to great they're taken to great spots in their character development. Some are honestly given choices that I feel are like huge stakes for these characters. Just such great character moments, especially between like Star-Lord and Yondu. I can't say enough good about Volume 2. Like I feel it gets too much hate. And I never understand it.
This is one that I've never heard too many bad things being said about.
It's just the only thing that I've always heard is just like when they're comparing it to like the first and third, they're just like, oh, the second one just sucks compared to those two. I'm just
I
like,
don't know about that, because I would say out of the 3, the one that struggles most with the villain is number 1.
Agreed. Ronan, I'm sorry, is not the greatest villain.
Yeah, he was a decent threat, but I don't think he was as great of a villain. I'll say as great, because I still think he was a pretty good villain. I don't think he was as great as Ego or High Evolutionary was.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think something that James Gunn really understood well was giving the villain a good motivation rather than just making him evil for evil's sake. Which, I mean, I'll say this: I don't quite think that Ego is evil in a sense. He's not. It's like he's not wanting to. He's a celestial. He lives forever. He's just like converted his consciousness into something else. And I think with him, he's just grown bored. And so now
Yeah,
he's wanting
that's fair.
to like spread out over multiple galaxies, see what the world, like other worlds, have to offer. But I think with him being basically immortal, it's made him very apathetic to life, because like obviously he's like what he's doing, like Yondu is bringing him these kids, and he's like trying like hunting around for something, for some cosmic power, and then he's like, oh nope, and then just drops them.
Yeah.
And like with it's just like I said, very apathetic villain. So it's not like he's evil, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And like I can see how that would happen with someone that has abilities and like the immortality that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, like, to think, especially now that it's like basically confirmed, or it not basically, it is confirmed that Mantis and Peter are siblings, that even like the first go round, like you kind of got that hint that something was happening there.
That's
But
fair.
you understood he didn't really care about Mantis either. He just found her useful to him.
Yeah.
And so that's why he kept her around. And so I think in terms of like apathetic villains, like I think he's really like a high quality villain.
That's fair. No, yeah, dude. I definitely agree with everything you said.
Yeah, but I mean, this story was kick ass. Like it had its emotional moments. Like I remember like when we went to go see this, when Ego made the comment about putting the tumor in Peter's mom, or in Meredith's brain. Like I remember how quick I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
that
what
mind
did
blown.
you just say?
Yeah.
And then freaking Peter going all ham, like that was the shit. I think my only real complaint with that whole sequence was like Ego had said, like, oh, it'll take you like a few thousand years to really get this down, but he ended up like being able to go toe to toe with Ego.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's fair.
That doesn't quite line up.
Yeah, it doesn't really add up.
Yeah. But yeah, I think story wise, that might have been my only real complaint.
That's fair, because like, yeah, even just like looking past that, just the directions that the characters go, Ego as a villain, I'm just remembering like the little things throughout, like the arguments that Peter and Rocket have, that I feel set up their characters even more for like volume 3 going forward, and just how even though like they seem like they don't get along, that they actually truly love each other. Just such a good story for a second movie.
Yeah.
Like, James Gunn knocked it out of the park with this one. He knocked it out of the park with all three.
Did. Yeah, I remember, like, I still feel like hold this in as high regard as I do when it first came out.
Same here.
That can't be said about most MCU movies, but it can definitely be said about this trilogy.
Yeah, and no one can freaking did. And I will go to my grave with the statement that Baby Groot is so much more cuter than Grogu or Baby Yoda, whatever.
Bro, that's a close freaking fight, but
I know it is, but I'm sorry. Have you seen the I Am Groot shorts?
I haven't seen the new ones yet.
I have. Okay,
but
I haven't either.
Okay, so but I've seen the first batch that came out, and
Dude,
I freaking love those.
Yeah, that just like that like truly solidified. I'm like, okay, yeah, Baby Groot is so much cuter than Grogu. Like those were freaking adorable.
Yeah.
I can't count how many times because I watched them with Christina. I just all of a sudden hear her shout, "He's so cute!"
Man, of all the times I wish he was watching right now, I would have loved
Right?
to see her thoughts on that impression of her.
I think I nailed it, Christina.
Good thing, Stacy.
She knows where you live.
Do you have your volume up high, or like what was the deal with that? But yeah, so getting into the story, like where are you sitting?
Like, I don't know, man. This one cracks 90s for me. I'm not gonna lie.
This one cracks 90s for me too.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I'm not quite throwing it. Oh, she loves Grogu.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. you know what, Sam? I'm totally cool if she tells me. Let's go at it, Stacy. Let's fight. Come on. I'm just gonna get her something Baby Groot for Christmas, just out of spite. That's what I'm gonna
make
do.
it look like Grogu, though.
Dude, if only freaking Build-A-Bear had a freaking Baby Groot plush, and I dressed it up in like the Grogu costume.
That'd be hilarious.
Right? Ah, damn it. I wish that they still, because I know for Guardians 2 when it came out that they did have the Baby Groot plush, but of course the Mandalorian wasn't even close to coming out yet.
Yeah.
So damn. Oh well. But freaking story. I'm probably at like a 9. I'm gonna go a 93.
I'm actually super close to that. I was sitting at a 94.
Hell yeah.
Nice knowing you. I'm afraid of her. I know Rose is talking a big game right now, but
yeah,
I'm sure the second he gets confronted, he's like, I think she's cute too.
Wait, Grogu is a girl?
No, I
you said
no,
I think she's cute. Yeah, but you said I think she's cute too.
I meant he.
Oh, I was like, wait, whoa, you just blew my mind.
Yeah. All right, moving on over to writing. I think if there's anywhere where it's suffered or not suffered. I have this issue with like all the Guardians movies. I think like the writing is like on point when it hits like the emotional stuff, and it has like really good solid lines. I think it's just when it comes to the comedy, sometimes it may be a tad overdone.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there. Like if I'm thinking about like the opening, the whole thing with like Drax not wearing one of Rocket's arrow rigs, and
because it like chaps his nipples.
Yeah, it hurts his nipples. That joke definitely went on a little too much. What else?
There, like, don't get me wrong, there were some like really good jokes in there. Like my favorite is when he was the freaking batteries, like kept like calling them like because they're like Amulax batteries, and he's like Harbulary batteries, and he's like that's not even close to what I said. And then when he's like talking about him, like, you stole these Amulax batteries, they're Harbulary batteries. No, they're not. Like I freaking loved like that kind of joke. It's like I don't know, maybe it's just Drax, dude. I freaking love Drax.
No, dude, like Dave Bautista's delivery is so good.
I know. I think what got me was just how matter of fact Drax was, and just how frustrated Peter was. Like I think it was just a mixture of everything.
No, that's fair.
But I was just like, no, it's not.
Like I know there was one line that they did in the trailer that like I didn't think I would, just because the joke got ruined. I thought I wouldn't laugh, but I laughed even more in the movie. It's when they're talking to oh my god, what is her name? The Sovereign Fleet leader. Aisha. Aisha, when Rocket straight up goes, they said that you people were conceited douchebags, but that isn't true at all. And then he winks. He's like, "Oh, my bad. You guys weren't supposed to see that."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like shit like that I really liked, but I think what got me was like, yeah, the whole it chafing his nipples.
What about
I think
what
when
did you? Oh, sorry, go.
oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm because I want to know about how you felt about because it's the I don't know if you like the it's the faces in the background, especially the face that Gamora gives. But when they're talking about like Drax is talking to Peter about Ego, and all of a sudden Ego's just like, "Yep, Drax, I have a penis." And you know what? It's not half bad. And I don't know if you remember the face that Gamora gives in the background. Have you seen the face that she gives?
No, I haven't freaking caught that.
Her eyes are like so wide. It's freaking hilarious.
Like in shock that he said that, or
yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah. It's freaking hilarious. Because I'm sure she's just like thinking like, does that mean Peter's packing? That's what I would assume.
Oh man.
But just
I didn't catch that.
I feel sorry. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to think of like other shit. Like any issue that I had with the writing was mostly comedic stuff. All of like the heartfelt things were really good. Oh, I remember now. Taserface. I think that his joke went on a little long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like it. Don't get me wrong. It was funny occasionally, but I think it like really lost its umph like later on.
I would have been. I wish that they would have just stuck with just when Rocket's just like I just can't imagine looking in the like when you're a kid or something and looking in the mirror and just think it would be a kick-ass name, Taserface. Like that was great. That had me laughing. But just after that, they will not let the joke die, and it's really annoying.
I think it was because they played it up as something that was way more funny than it actually was.
That's fair.
I think I think it would have been funnier for instead of Rocket to be like freaking belly laughing. I think it would have been better had he just kind of like chuckled. Yeah, and then him be like, "What the hell was that?" And then like that whole situation, and then when he's talking to Aisha and being like, "Let him know that he was destroyed by Taserface," and then if she just like because I think her little like chuckle like really sold the joke, but I think
that's fair.
Rocket just guttural like that was too much.
It just sucks
like,
that
you
get, like,
have to have some self-awareness. Like,
no, I agree.
I think the issue is like, and sometimes it works. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just thinking your joke is funnier than it actually is.
Like, you think that like the whole joke with Rocket having to tell baby Groot so many times that don't press this button that it would get annoying, like it wouldn't be as funny. But no, like every single time that they kept doing that joke, I felt it got funnier and funnier. Whereas the Taserface joke, just the first time Rocket has a really good laugh at it, I'm just like, okay, it's funny. I get it.
Like it's not that funny, bro.
Yeah, but let's move on. Let's let's either have a serious moment or come up with a new joke. But nope, they just kept it going.
Yeah.
I mean, but like dramatic moments though, like some outweigh like that kind of stuff, because that scene between Rocket and Yondu, where Yondu is straight up just being like, this is who you are, and you know why I know that? Because you're me. You and me are exactly the same.
Oh my gosh, dude, that still freaking like gut punches me.
Right? It's so good. And then of course, when Yondu saves Peter, and is literally just apologizing, being I'm sorry I didn't do any of it right, but I'm proud to have raised you and be the dad that basically you you deserved.
Yeah, like, oh man,
Just
that and then again, some of the freaking other lines from Yondu, like he may have been your daddy, boy, or may have been your
yeah,
father, boy,
but he
or
wasn't your daddy.
yeah,
Freaking okay. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that line. It's a great line, but I hate
social media is ruined.
Yeah, I hate
Daddy.
the internet so much because literally all I can think of when someone says "daddy" is sexual. That's all I can think of. So
Unfortunately, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So so like for such a great, powerful scene, such an emotional scene, it's ruined because I'm just like, like you kind of have to laugh about it because you're just like, I know it's not what they mean, but that's what my brain is thinking, and I freaking hate my brain for going to that area or that
Dude,
part.
I am seriously hoping that trend eventually dies.
I doubt it, dude. I doubt it.
I know, but I'm hoping it does, because eventually it's going to get to the point where I think like Iris is eventually going to get like called out or made fun of for calling me that, and it's going to just
I hope
break
that
my
doesn't-
heart.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I mean,
definitely don't
hopefully
wanna see that.
hopefully it either is just not weird because like I am her dad, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed, fingers absolutely crossed.
Yeah,
But I get what you
definitely.
mean. But I mean, dude, Yondu had some freaking like killer lines.
He
Like,
really
I freaking
did.
still love the like I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's so great. Freaking that
like-
scene between him and Sylvester Stallone's character, his Ravager, where he's trying to explain himself, but he's just like, no, you broke the code, and that's why you were exiled from the Ravagers. That scene freaking breaks you because like Yondu did not deserve the hate.
Yeah, dude, it was weird, like, because you don't understand what that's about, at least at first.
No, yeah, you don't.
And like eventually when you realize like, oh shit, yeah, but I mean, good writing all around. Like, it was overall, I think I'll put it a little bit lower than story, but not much.
No, I agree.
Like, honestly, I think I'm still cracking 90s.
Oh, same here. I think I'm at a 91. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna stick with.
I think I'm sitting at like a 93. I'm like not much lower.
You are a lot nicer to this movie apparently than I am. Oh, that's funny.
All right, next up we got acting. So going through the cast list here, we got Chris Pratt, who played Peter Quill / Star-Lord. Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora. Dave Bautista, who plays Drax the Destroyer. Bradley Cooper, who plays or who does the voice for Rocket Raccoon. Vin Diesel, who did the voice for Baby Groot. Kurt Russell, who played Ego. Oh, geez, I don't know how to say her name. Palm Clementif?
I think it's Clementif.
Who played Mantis. Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula. Michael Rooker plays Yondu. Sean Gunn plays Kraglin. And then Chris Sullivan plays Taserface. All right, so what's your top three looking like?
Number one, I gotta give to Michael Rooker as Yondu. Absolutely fantastic. I'm honestly still sad that this was his last movie, but he went out on such a high note, and just he's so good as Yondu. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved him as Yondu in the first one, but I feel that he didn't really have as huge of an impact on me as he did in Volume 2, because after we walked out of this movie, he was my favorite character of the movie. And just, yeah, from the emotional beats that he had to hit, learning about more of his character, his past with Peter, and just everything that he did to basically save Peter from Ego. So good. So yeah, Michael Rooker, number one. Number two, honestly, two, I'd probably give to Bradley Cooper as Rocket. Once again, he was absolutely fantastic. He knocks it out of the park every single time with Rocket, and this time was no exception. Absolutely loved his character, and I Rocket's story definitely comes full circle in the third one, but we're definitely given more information in this one to I guess piggyback off of what we were given in Volume 1, which I always love learning anything about Rocket, and when his full backstory comes to fruition in the next installment, it freaking gut punches you so bad. But just what we get here with Rocket is fantastic, and Bradley Cooper is incredible as him in this. And number 3, what did I give to number 3? I'd probably give to Zoe Saldana. Gamora, loved her in this. This is, I think, her best performance as Gamora. It is unfortunate what happens to the character in Infinity War. I get it as a character; it makes sense for her being sacrificed. Sorry, spoiler alert for Infinity War. Oops.
Yeah, we didn't give a proper warning for that, Rose.
Sorry. Okay, but if you people haven't seen Infinity War, like, come on.
Yeah, what are you doing at this point?
Yeah, like I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, this is the best she's ever been as this character. Just all of literally her scenes with Nebula, her scenes with Peter, just everything, just so good here. To the point that actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna switch my 2 and 3. So I'm sorry, Zoe Saldana's number 2, Bradley Cooper's number 3, because I truly remember. I'm remembering how much I love her character so much in this movie, and just how that like I've driven home that this is the best that Gamora has been, and unfortunately the best that she was when it came to this version of Gamora. I love Zoe Saldana as Gamora in Volume 3, but it's not the Gamora that we fell in love with in Volume 1 and Volume 2. But it worked for what they did in Volume 3, and I was completely fine with the direction they took her with, because still you get some sweet moments with her. But where she's taken with in this one is so good, it's so fantastic, that I have to give her number 2. So, like I said, switching 2 and 3. So she's 2 now. Bradley Cooper's number 3.
Okay. Oh shit.
Bless you.
That snuck up on me. All right, my number 3. Oh gosh. Yeah, my number 3 I'm going to give to Michael Rooker. And this has nothing to do, like, this order, like, these 3 are so close. It's not even funny. But yeah, I'm giving Michael Rooker my number 3. I freaking love him in this role. I thought he was so much fun as just a character. And, like, I liked him a lot in the first one. Like, I thought he was really cool. But I was like with you, like, I thought he was cool, but I didn't really think too much of him until, like, obviously that final scene where he's, like, using his arrow on everybody. Like, I thought that was freaking sick. And in this, we get a scene that's equally, if not better than that scene.
Dude, I would say it's way better. And the song choice, oh my God, don't get me started.
Dude, I cannot wait to talk about the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So I loved everything that he was able to pull off. Like, I think, like, I have issue with people that are a little bit more on the gruff side trying to portray deep emotional moments. But I think he freaking killed it.
Agreed.
Yeah, he did an amazing job with the emotional moments and being, like, that hard, tough, gruff. Like, it didn't feel out of place. Like, I feel like that's an issue that I have with a lot of the people that are, like, a little bit more on the gruff side. When they go for emotional, it's either, like, overly emotional or just, like, a very emotionless scene. But he was able to give, like, full, like, deep emotion in his performance, and I freaking loved it. My number 2, I think I'm going to give to Palm. I thought she was so much freaking fun. Dude, she was adorable.
Best way to describe her.
Like, I thought she's so funny. She is ridiculously funny, but the way that Drax tricks her into petting Rocket, and then when Rocket bites her, the sadness in her eyes made me want to freaking cry. It was, but she so much freaking fun. And I loved every time she was touching Drax, whenever he was laughing and just laughing right along with him. They made such a perfect duo, and
They really did.
I freaking love her. She's amazing. She could have easily come off as an annoying character, but she didn't. She absolutely sold her role.
Agreed.
And this just ties into my number 1. Giving it to Dave Bautista.
All right, that's fair. I
I
like it.
love Dave Bautista in this this iteration, so freaking good. Man, it's hard to come up with what specifics on why I loved him so much, but it's just this just random shit. This I want to make sure I'm not getting this confused with the first, but this is the one where he talks about dancing.
Yes, yeah, that's this one.
Okay, good. I thought it for a second it might have been the first, but
Yeah, dude, I'm remembering this scene that you're talking about.
yeah, I love how he's talking to Star-Lord and just talking about how he's frail and feminine because he dances, and Gamora's a hardened warrior, so she doesn't. And then he starts talking about his long lost wife, and then just saying she could hear the most melodic music that you can imagine. She wouldn't even tap her foot. I don't know why I freaking love that line delivery so much.
The fact that he's just many would think that she was dead. It's so good. It's so good. Oh man.
And then oh freaking hell, when Mantis comes into his room and he's just gagging. I'm just thinking about being with you physically. Good Lord, you're horrifying.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I know. And then it was everything. I can't think of a single thing about Drax in this that I disliked. He was the shining grace for it. And then not even the comedic moments, getting into his more emotional side. His yell when he's talking to Rocket when they're leaving Peter on the planet, or that's what they think is happening. His yell for Rocket is just chilling.
Agreed. That shit's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So he freaking delivered some emotional gut punches too. So I have to give it to Dave. I freaking love him.
Completely understandable. Great, dude. Great list. I love yours.
Yeah. All right. What are you giving acting?
Dude, everyone just freaking brought their A game, and just the acting is so freaking good here. I rarely have problems with anyone. Even though the joke goes on for so long, I feel even though he's a joke, Taserface actually isn't that bad.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah,
the Taserface joke wasn't his fault.
No, but the actual character is actually really good, and the guy that portrayed, what was his name that portrayed him again?
Chris Sullivan.
He did fantastic. So I'm gonna go a 96.
honestly, I'm right there with you.
Hell yeah.
The only people that brought this down for me were the Sovereign, but they weren't too significant of a role in this for me to
That's
dog
fair.
it too much.
That's fair.
Yeah, like they're definitely keeping me from putting it any higher than 96,
Yeah.
but I think the main cast does well enough to deserve the 96.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic freaking cast here. All right, next up we got character development, which for this is again one of Peter's stories.
Yes. Definitely.
This is one where I feel like man, like it's hard to rate this one.
That is fair. I don't know, because like through he meets his real dad. They get along great, have a great connection. Are having some really good father son time. And all of a sudden it turns out, oh hey, I killed your mom. And so it feels like he starts at square one. And then by the time the movie ends, he's kind of back to that, because not only does his real dad turn out to be an asshole, but he freaking loses the only guy that actually felt like a dad to him. So I don't know if there's really that much character growth in this for Peter Quill, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because the events that unfold make sense, and it's understandable why I feel he goes from square one back to square one. So like I don't know, I can't. It's not a horrible character development, but just there's not a lot I feel for Peter in this movie.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with this is coming from the first, like he has kind of internally resolved his mommy issues. Like that feeling like he abandoned his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of dealt with that and grew with this family in the Guardians. I think where with this one he was dealing with more paternal issues and kind of being like, I think it was like a mixture of dealing with like becoming the leader of the Guardians or being the leader of the Guardians, whether officially or unofficially. Then yeah, dealing with like the paternal void that he's been feeling. And I think once he like gets a taste of that, like you kind of see that he doesn't want to accept what Gamora told him about like the freaking mass grave of other of Ego's children. And like you kind of see that that's an issue. And then he like has to, like when he faces off against his dad, you see like there was kind of a struggle for him to start facing off against his father until he made the reveal about his mom.
Yeah.
And then once that was revealed, it was freaking game on.
Yeah.
And I think I won't say they like rushed it, but I think it was very quick for them to be like, Yondu's the dad I never had.
That's fair. I will admit, like just thinking about it, over the past couple of years since this came out, it does feel a little rushed. It does kind of come out of left field. It makes sense, the way that it comes to a conclusion, the way that they explain it. But yeah, it definitely kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, not like completely out of nowhere, because I feel like they touched on it in the first a little bit, like
True.
because everyone's like giving Yondu a hard time about going easy on Peter or like taking it easy, and then same thing with this one. They start a freaking mutiny because he goes easy on Peter.
Very good point.
So it's like you get those vibes from Yondu's perspective. You don't really get them from Peter's.
Yeah.
So if there's anywhere in this that I feel suffers quite a bit, and I think I don't have the scores like pulled up, but I'm pretty sure this might have been the case with Volume 3. I think character development's where this kind of took a little bit of a dive.
Yeah.
Not much, though, because I feel like they had enough growth for everyone to kind of make up for the lack of with Peter. I think
That's fair.
Gamora had some decent growth with Nebula.
Yes, definitely.
Drax had some decent growth with Mantis. Like I love their whole discussion about being ugly and everything, and then kind of Rocket with Yondu. Like if there's any Guardian that didn't get any, it was probably Groot.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah.
They made up for it with cuteness.
Yeah, they absolutely did. But yeah, personally, I didn't. This was above average, but I think this is definitely the lowest category for me. So I'm probably sitting around an 84.
No, I think I'm gonna match you because I was gonna do an 85, but I'm just like, with what everything that you said, yeah, I gotta go just a little lower.
All right, moving on over to effects. These weren't half bad.
Yeah,
there were definitely some like crazy CGI shit.
Fair. I mean,
but
for the most part, it looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look completely out of place. There was definitely I think it was just more odd than anything. Like the whole Peter turning himself into a giant Pac-Man. Like that was weird.
I felt like something that belonged in Pixels, but that's me.
A little bit, yeah. Which is weird because it's like that felt odd, but like the full, like when you zoom out onto Ego and you see the giant face in the planet, that looked really good.
That is true. Yeah.
I mean, the space travel looked good. Like it was very on par with like the MCU quality, at least at that time.
Yeah, like the good side of it.
Yeah, I think it was once it started getting past this point that it started getting a little funky.
Yeah.
Because it was this, and then it went into Thor Ragnarok, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then right before this was Doctor Strange.
And Doctor Strange was actually, that had really good special effects.
Yeah, I felt Doctor Strange was
How the hell
incredible.
did we go from the special effects in the first Doctor Strange to the ones in the second one, and just how
The one in the second one wasn't like horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible, but just like I'm just reminded of that eye, dude. That looks so
that
bad.
eye was horrid.
Yeah. Did you see the like it's I think that they came out and said that Marvel VFX artists have officially decided to unionize.
Freaking good.
Yeah. Like seriously, they deserve better pay and they deserve to be given actual proper time to get this shit done.
Mm-hmm. I will take higher quality stuff over a longer period of time.
Agreed.
Like any day of the week.
Yeah.
Like unless you want to freaking batch out some shows, like I'll take a lower quality show as long as it's written well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Like like special effects wise is what I'm talking about. Like
no, I get you.
Lower quality. Anyway. Yeah, so I think this was the last great CGI.
That's fair because I mean, yeah, Rocket looked great, Groot looked great. Freaking, I mean, I don't know how easy or like how hard it was to do. But like that scene where Yondu is using his arrow to take out all of those oh my god, they're not Ravagers. What are they?
No, they were Ravagers. They were just the ones that were mutinous.
Mutant. Okay. When he's using it to take out all of his fellow Ravagers, just like like I said, I don't know how hard of an effect that was, but that shit looks so crisp, so clean, so freaking cool. And like when it's passing through one of them in slow-mo, just coming through his chest, that shit looks so cool.
Yeah, it looked friggin' sick. Yeah, no real issues effects wise.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm still probably in the 80s here. I'm in the high 80s for sure.
That's
but
fair.
I don't think I quite cracked 90s.
That's yeah, I can agree with that. I don't know. I'm like probably at like an 88.
Yeah, I think I was leaning more towards like an 89. I'll give it an 89. But yeah. All right, next up, music.
I will fight you for a 10.
Bro. I have no issues giving it a 10.
Okay, good.
This soundtrack was banging.
Dude, seriously. Like I can't decide if this or Volume 3 is my favorite, but I definitely liked this better than Volume 1 when it comes to soundtracks.
Okay,
It's
that's a bold statement.
I know it is.
I'm giving in order of like great soundtrack. I'm giving this one number 1. I'll give the first one number 2, and then the third one 3.
Wow, no love for Volume 3. What the hell?
That is bullshit, and you know it. I have nothing but love for Volume 3. Yeah, but this one was freaking like the bomb.com, dude.
It's so good.
Like I have more like this is the reason that I put it in that order. I have all of Volume 2 saved. I have a majority of Volume 1 saved, and I have a couple of Volume 3 saved.
Okay. So
that's the reasoning behind my
that's fair. I mean, so yeah, I'm with you. I have all of Volume 2 saved. I have all of Volume 3 saved too as well. But yeah, only a couple of Volume 1. So like I guess if I'm being for how much I love Volume 3, I probably would still put Volume 2 at number 1. But Volume 3 would definitely go number 2, and then Volume 1 for me at number 1. Or no,
at least
sorry,
you can
Volume
be
1
honest
at
with
number
yourself.
3. Hey, shut up. Dude, like I know we're talking about Volume 2, but like because I am so grateful with Volume 3 that I did not look up what the soundtrack was going to be before I saw the movie, because when they started playing Dog Days Are Over at the end, I'm just like, okay, you're going for this song. And it just kept getting more, it just kept getting more perfect and perfect for the scene. And I'm just like, James Gunn, how did you make this song work so perfectly for a send off to the Guardians? It's just so perfect.
Dude, you want to hear a freaking hot take? I hated that song before Volume 3.
I know a lot of people did. I loved it. I've always loved that song. But I can understand why. I completely get it.
Yeah, Brielle loved that song before, and so she was super excited to see that it was in the movie. But yeah, that was one that's like it started playing, and I was like, and
damn.
then like when it started playing, I was just like, well, shit, like
way to ruin
freaking
my
leave
ending.
off on way to ruin the ending, and it actually ended up being like a freaking banger. Like I actually really appreciate that song now, but only under the context of the ending of Volume 3. I have tried listening to it outside of Volume 3. I can't do it.
Really? Made me love that song even more. But yeah, getting back to Volume 2. Yeah, freaking I'm trying to remember all the songs. Lakeshore Drive, love that song in this. It's not played that much though. I wish it was. It's literally being taken off as it's literally being played as they are what is it? They're taking Nebula to, so it's after they give the is it Amulax batteries? Yeah, after they give the Amulax batteries.
I was gonna say it, actually they're Harbulary batteries.
You should have, man. You should have.
No,
freaking hilarious.
I missed opportunity. I already started answering you as it was like coming up. I'm like, no,
damn. Yes, after they give back the Amulax batteries, and they get Nebula, and they're taking her to, where did they say that they were taking her? I can't remember.
I think they were just trying to keep her with.
That's
oh
what
no,
it was?
she was going to take her to Nova.
That's what it was. And so that song's playing as like freaking. It's like showing Baby Groot just like looking out the back window at the freaking sovereign not sovereign planet, sovereign. I don't
Like
know
the
what the hell
fleet.
it's called. Yeah, sovereign fleet. And it's a really cute moment. I just love that song. You got that freaking "Come a Little Bit Closer" that's playing when freaking Yondu is just destroying all the Ravagers with his arrow and walking in slow mo with Rocket and Baby Groot by his side. So freaking good. Um, just there's so many good songs. Freaking Fox on isn't Fox on the Run playing when it's Ego and Star Lord fighting? I think they're keeping.
I want to say yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I could I could probably listen to the soundtrack and tell you where the scenes are or what the scenes are. Like it's
Same.
that freaking iconic.
Yeah, it's so good.
But yeah, 10 out of 10. Like
Yeah.
that, there was no freaking question. Like I was about to, like when we were getting this set up, I was just like, might as well just fill this in now. Like there's no
No,
freaking
dude,
question about it.
like even though Volume 1 is my third favorite soundtrack, it still gets a 10 out of 10. All Guardians movies get a 10 out of 10 for their soundtracks. The way that James Gunn works in these songs to benefit the story and just how it works so well with the scene, I feel it's honestly a craft how he's able to do this. And
Oh yeah,
it just adds to the scene so much more.
dude, have you ever listened on Spotify to his Meredith Quill Awesome Mix?
No, I haven't.
It's a banger.
Yeah, okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, so he had like every song that he feels Meredith Quill would have had on like repeat or like a copy of, he put in this playlist, and it freaking rocks.
Okay. I'll definitely have to check that out. That's awesome.
Yeah, anytime I'm in a mood for like not my normal type of music, but just kind of I want something playing, like I'll usually throw that on.
All
Like
right.
I have it saved and everything. It's freaking fantastic.
I like it. Hell yeah.
All right, next up we got costumes. This is a tough one.
That's fair. Cuz I know I pointed out to Caleb before we started recording, like the biggest standout for me is that in this Yondu actually gets like the classic like fin. It's not like the like just like the flat fin that it is in the first one. It's like the full on like swooped up fin in this, and it's freaking great. I love it. But like other than that, there's really no big standouts. I mean, I guess like with Mantis and the introduction to her, you get her new costume. But the Guardians are wearing basically the same stuff that they wore in the first one. Only thing different
Yeah.
about Star Lord is now he has a longer jacket. It's more of like a trench coat instead of his leather jacket, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, even like in combat, he wasn't even wearing that. He was wearing the long sleeve like gray t-shirt,
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
which I mean, even like that is in its own right an iconic look, because you can see someone wearing that out anywhere and be like, that's freaking Peter Quill.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, no,
So
just,
I mean that's one of those costumes that was like, it was tricky for me.
that's fair.
Drax really didn't have anything, I mean, other than him being shirtless, but I mean that's just the iconic Drax look. Gamora didn't really have anything too special.
No.
But
Literally,
I
the
mean,
only thing that changed about Rocket is like literally the exact same costume, but instead of like the main colors being orange, they're blue this time.
yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah, so this one's like hard to rate. So like I'd put this on the same level as the first.
That I can definitely agree there.
Yeah, I mean it's iconic enough because I mean you got Yondu is freaking carrying the weight of this team on on their shoulders. I mean you got some cool Ravagers. I think Sylvester Stallone's Ravager outfit was pretty bitchin'.
That's fair. I can definitely.
But
agree
I
with
mean, you
there.
can't really weigh him in too much because I mean he was just such a small part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is somewhere. I think I'm like maybe an 8. Like,
Yeah, I can agree with you.
yeah, I mean, I can be talked down to a 7 if.
I don't know. I feel that I don't know. To me, Yondu's fin that really brings me up to an 8, just because it's so comic accurate and it just makes me it put a huge smile on my face, and I don't know, for that alone that pushes me to an 8.
Fair. All right, last up we got our own personal scores.
Who do you want to take this one?
You're leading this one. You pick.
All right, let's have you do this one.
Okay. This is easily one of the best sequels to come out within the MCU. I love this movie to death. One of the big things that I have, especially when it comes to like MCU, or something I find that's hard to come back to, is the origin. And that's usually what the first movie is. It's usually an origin, and that's exactly what that was. It was an origin to the team. And like, don't get me wrong, it was good, but if I'm going to, I always kind of lean more towards watching the film where they're already kind of established. Like, and it's weird because like, and this is like can be said with like any of the franchises. Like, I'm more inclined to watch Age of Ultron versus the Avengers. And
Really?
listen, hold up. I see you judging me.
Just a little bit.
No, the reason that I'm more inclined to is because the Avengers are already established as a team. Avengers kind of built up to it, but like, I like to see them fight as a team, and Age of Ultron is going to give me that. Same thing with like Iron Man. I'm probably going to watch Iron Man 2 over Iron Man 1. I know Iron Man 1's a better movie, but Iron Man 2 is an established Iron Man.
Also, I feel Iron Man 2 gets way too much hate.
Iron Man 2 is not bad.
It's
not as bad as people think. Iron Man 3 is meh, but
I honestly hate Iron Man 3.
I won't say I hate it, but
I'm going to be honest right here. But really quick, sorry, I just want to, can we just touch upon that? It's kind of bullshit that we only actually got to see the Avengers like reassemble fully as a team in just 2 movies. We only got to see them actually assemble as a team in 2 movies, like the OG6. They never assemble in Infinity War, and they never assemble in Endgame, technically. Or, oh, I guess they technically do in Endgame a little
but
bit.
it's not like combat.
Yeah,
it's more just
it's not the same.
Yeah, not quite.
It makes me sad.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. But yeah, it's the same issue that I have. I know objectively that that a lot of the ones where they're a little bit more established as a character is either like usually a lower quality film than the origin. But most of the time, this is one of those cases where I'm more inclined to watch 2 versus 1. And it's because of how much of a good time I have watching this film. I love this film. I think it's so much freaking fun, and it still has the emotional moments that you kind of like come to expect from Marvel, but it's done so freaking well. And that's just because James Gunn is a freaking bomb of a director. So my personal score for this, I think I'm going to give a 91.
I thought you were going to be a lot higher, actually.
I was thinking about it.
Sorry, I don't mean to. I'm not trying to change your mind.
I know, you made me question myself.
My bad. Sorry.
You bastard.
I'm sorry.
I'll stick with 91. The 91. I feel good about it.
All right. No, completely. No, it's a good score. Yeah, honestly, I don't really have anything else to add with other than just agreeing with everything Caleb said. It's definitely the rare sequel that is better than the original, and or at least to us. And arguably, I'd say it's one of the not only the best sequel in the MCU, but one of the best sequels I've actually seen. Just the characters are great. Music's great. Just overall, just a really, really good sequel. And um, I remember for years that this was like one of the biggest MCU movies that I always caught myself coming back to because I just had so much fun with it, and I love these characters so much. And so yeah, so personal score. I think I'm gonna go slightly higher than Caleb. I'm gonna go a 93.
All right. Well, with that wraps up this breakdown. So going through these scores real quick. All right, starting off with story, we ended up averaging out to a 94. Moving on over to writing, dropped down a couple points, sitting at 92. Acting, we did a pretty decent bump up to a 96. Character development wasn't quite as strong as other films, so it ended up being around 84. The effects ended up averaging out to an 88.5. Our music, no surprise here, 10 out of 10. Our costume score ended up averaging out to an 8 out of 10. And then our personal score ended up averaging to a 92. So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has come out to a...
Still gotta get a drum
man.
noise.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'll figure that out.
You're good, man.
But it's come out to an A-.
Yes. I was really hoping it would hit an A. Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, I won't say it barely cracked because I mean it's got a solid footing in the A- range. Our cutoff is 90.
Okay.
And this ended up getting a 91.4.
Okay. So it's not like right on the edge, but it's
it's like I said,
there.
it's got a firm holding.
Yeah.
So I'm digging where it's at.
Me too.
But yeah, it's sitting at an A-.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Yeah, same here. All right, comparing this to other A- movies. Let's see. I feel like there's going to be some hot takes in here.
It's the kind of stuff we
Possibly.
love.
Yeah. All right. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 sitting at a 91.43, which is an A-. Everything I'm about to list off is also an A- movie. It is sitting below the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
I'm okay with
Dude,
that, I think.
so barely.
It's barely.
It's 0.02% difference.
You know, dude, for how much I love that movie, like I think that it's still my favorite animated movie of the year. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same here. Sorry, I thought I heard a noise outside.
No, you're good, man.
All right, it's sitting below The Batman,
okay,
which is at a 91.62. It is sitting below Logan, which is at a 91.81.
fair.
It is sitting below Our Friend, which is at a 92.12.
That's fair. God, that's such a good movie.
Yeah. It is sitting below The Eternals, which is at a 92.25.
Oh wow. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna have some pissed off people. Because even I'm gonna disagree with that. Guardians 2 is definitely higher than Eternals.
Man, dude, I think you're giving The Eternals way too much shit. It was a
like,
good movie.
No, it was. Don't get me wrong. Like they definitely deserve to be held on the same pedestal. But I think Guardians a little higher. Like I would switch those scores.
If it makes you feel better, it's less than a percentage difference. Like at least a full percent.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, less than a full percentage. It's a point.
I'll take that.
0.8. If I'm doing the math properly, it's a 0.8% difference. It is so close.
All right, I'll take that.
All right, then lastly, it is below Elvis, which is at a 92.31.
I had no idea we ranked Elvis that high. Damn.
Yeah. So seriously, to get a full percentage away from Guardians, it's 12 movies.
Damn. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and the one that's a full percentage away is Pulp Fiction.
Okay, wow.
So it is ridiculously close. Like
Seriously.
tight margins. Our A minus, I feel, have like some of the tightest margins.
I agree. Yeah, no kidding.
All right, going the opposite direction. We put Guardians above Coco, which is at a 91.4.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna make people mad.
Yeah, it's above Creed 3, which is at a 91.31.
I can respect that.
It is above Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is at a 91.2. It is above Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is at 91.12. If there's one that I disagree with, it's that one.
All right, fair.
But I think that's because my personal score for it was higher than Guardians. All right. It is also above Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is at a 91.1. And then it is above How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, which is at a 91.
Okay.
So again,
Not bad.
tight margins.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Like, so going a full percentage away from Guardians. So that's like, let's see, anything above a 90.4. Yeah, it's 16 movies before you're a full percentage away.
Damn.
And
okay. Wow.
yeah, and it's 1917 is the movie that's the
Holy
full
shit.
percentage.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah, like I said, the margins here are stupid close.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I'm not too upset with the ranking here.
I'm not either. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else you want to add about Guardians 2.
That I do not.
All right. Well, I would say that brings this episode to a close. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more from us, be sure to subscribe or listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are damn near everywhere. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Google Play, Google Podcasts. Wow. All that fun stuff. If you prefer to listen on YouTube, you can catch all of our episodes there. You can follow us on all of our social medias. We are at Facebook, facebook.com/The Allbros, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Allbros. At those places, you can find our questions of the week, answer those, recommend movies that you want us to do mini breakdowns on. That's where you can find all of our mini breakdowns. Thank you, Sam. That's very kind of you. We appreciate you listening all this way through 2 hours. Like, kudos to you for making it this far.
I know it's freaking late over there.
Yeah, man, that's later for you, man. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But if you prefer, so that's where you can find all that stuff. If you prefer to get in contact with us through email, you can do so. That is the allbroschannel@gmail.com. If you want to check out our merch store, you can find it at tpublic.com/user/the Allbros channel. Or you could also check out our website, tinyurl.com/the Allbros. Next week on the podcast, we will be breaking down A Haunting in Venice, the new Kenneth Branagh murder mystery. So, yeah, pretty excited about that. You guys can look forward to that next week. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we will see you guys next week. Deuces.
Oh, you asshole.
How's it feel, bitch?